Hello and welcome. I'm Arumba. Thank you for joining me. This is part 24 of our Let's Play the Prince and the Thane mod. And where we left off last, we just became king, as we should be. We are heir to the Shire of someplace. How on earth you'd pronounce that? Win-win-win. Win-win-win. The Shire of Powys Win-win-win. That's funny. Okay, so I haven't let any time tick yet, so in just a moment we're going to satisfy our ambition to become king, and we'll also see an increase to our domain limit because apparently it says we're at 6 out of 5, which doesn't make sense. But as soon as we get the being a king tier, it's going to help us out. But let's take care of the duchy thing first. So I find the easiest way to do duchies is first let's look at the de jure map mode for duchies. And let's see which land we hold. So these are the duchies. And we own a lot of them in York. Decent amount there in York. We own just one up there in whatever it's called, Lothian. And we own one in Mercia. Now I don't want to get rid of any actual land, I just want to get rid of the duchies. So let's find the duchies that we own that we don't have any land in. Obviously we own land in the Duchy of Northumbria. It's not going to be that one. Let's go to, let's use this one. Next we'll check out York. We own a lot of land in York. Mercia, we only own one title. If I give the Duchy of Mercia away, that duke is going to desire the county that I own. But, at least for this character, my current maimed Morcar I, at least for this character, that duke would like me because I gave him the duchy. So we wouldn't really have to worry about an opinion penalty now, but later on, for example with my next kid, it would become a problem, and I'd probably have to give up Chester at some point. I think I've spent a lot of money upgrading Chester. Yeah, I've done a lot to it, so I'd hate to get rid of it, but we'll see. What about Hereford? Okay, we own nothing in Hereford, so we should definitely get rid of this one. Why is a woman in charge? How did that happen? Oh well. She's content. This one's ambitious. And this one's a boy. We will go with the boy, because the boy will not plot. The boy will... The boy will just sort of sit there and do very little. And I do think I'm going to die soon. I'm expecting death very soon. So, we'll make him the Duke. We'll grant him the Duke of Hereford, so he's going to gain these two vassals beneath him. And that's okay. He looks like a king to me. That rope just still feels like a pretty powerful title. But I've got the sharp barbed wire thing. Not barbed. It looks like a rim you'd see on a car wheel, like a fancy one. Like a spinner. Alright, so there's one down. What about the next one? Mercia, we've already looked at. 5 boroughs. Why is it called the 5 boroughs if there are 3 titles in it? We don't own any of that. Now my marshal has the ambition to increase the size of his domain. I thought this was the guy that had the ambition a while back to become a duke. I was going to make you a duke, but now I might not. This guy is nothing to me. This guy is nothing to me. So I'm going to let my marshal be the duke, because if I make one of these two the duke, he would become vassal to them, and I would no longer have the ability to have him as a marshal. So by giving him the duchy, I keep my ability. He'll be my direct vassal, and I'll be able to keep him as my marshal. Plus, I do sometimes kind of like to reward people that have served me well, and he's done a pretty damn good job. And by the way, now that we have all of England, we should definitely be able to create another retinue as soon as I let a little bit of time tick. Now, how are we doing? We still have too many duchies. Obviously, we don't need this one. What is up with this? There's extra little flags in here. Are these people not... These two are independent. How on earth did you two become independent? No. We're going to quickly resolve that. We're going to declare a war on these two. Because we have a county claim. They belong to that county. They should be underneath him. I don't know why they're not. Oh, that's fine. So we'll declare war on him, on those two. And does it really matter that much? This guy's nobody to me. This guy's nobody to me. This guy's nobody to me. I guess This guy's content, so we'll go ahead and let him have the duchy. You can have that duchy of Powys. Oh, it's contested in the ongoing war. Never mind, I have to wait. We'll have to deal with that slight penalty for just a little bit. And apparently this is pronounced Thane, like Fane. Which is stupid, because the mod is called The Prince and the Thane, and they spell it T-H-A-N-E. Why couldn't they just spell that Thane? T-H-A-N-E. Come on, it looks like Thane that way. This looks like Fegin. It's Fegin. Fegin. I'm right. Trust me, I'm going to start pronouncing things. Just, I'm right. Don't argue with me, I'm right. Let's see if after getting all those vassals, do we have any other people that are better? No one's going to beat our marshal. He's a boss. No, we've actually got some really good advisors right now. Okay, if I can't get rid of that duchy, I'm going to have to get rid of at least one of the duchies that I actually have land in. Probably... Is this one well upgraded? 9. I guess if there was any land I'd be likely to get rid of, it'd probably be... Not Teviotdale, man, that thing is well upgraded. Look at that, 15 gold a year from this county. It's a lot at this stage in the game. Probably be this one, Northumbria. Although it's almost very, very close to completing this in one day. It's frustrating having... Okay. Let's just let a tiny, tiny bit of time tick. There we go, so we fulfilled... Blah, all this stuff just happened. We filled our ambition to become king. And somehow our limit went down. How does that happen? It actually went down after I became a king. Must be because I was like a Grand Duke or like a Great Duke. I had a lot of duchies. That sucks. Gavelkind increases it by 40%. It says 30% there, but it's actually saying 40% up here. Somehow we're down to medium crown authority. I could have sworn it was at high a second ago. I don't want to raise it right now. We can't really afford to do that. Now, I do like free investiture. Excuse me. Because that allows me to... It allows me to have better relations with the Pope, the bishops in our realm, and potentially have more levy and income from them. But these guys all hate me, so I really don't care about... Like, look at that, negative 30. Man. Domain's too big, minus 20. Wow! It's 20 points just for being over your domain. I'm going to have to get rid of one of these titles. My wife is not very good at stewardship, and neither am I. So we'll have to get rid of one. Let's go with the... lowest direct income county, that's this one here. Well, that's too bad, but that is in the Duchy of Northumbria, which we don't own any of the land for, so we can kind of do two birds with one stone. Let us go ahead and find characters. Now we can search. Everyone in the realm will be willing to do what I tell them. So let's scour the world for the best possible people. Now that you are within just my realm, you should accept land from me, you genius, you. I like this guy. Let's just make sure he is Saxon, right? Yep, okay. Let us give you... which one was it? It was... that one. Okay. I've just lost an advisor. There goes my spy master. Shoot, my spy master must have been one of these two. Yeah, it was that mayor. Crap. Well, we can find another one. It's okay. Now, of these people, who do I want to be my duke? Probably the guy that I just put there. He's not actually my marshal. It's just a vassal. Master of Intrigue no longer affects us. I do not like to make dukes my spy master. They have too much to gain by plotting against me. I usually like to use a bishop or a mayor from one of my personal holdings, because they are much less likely to actually try to hurt me. Or just this random courtier, for example, who is a knight somehow. He has less intrigue than this guy, but they just stand to gain too much, and they gain so much plot power when they try to do something against me. Where this guy has nothing to gain. He can't plot to take over the kingdom because he's not even landed. How about you just go and scheme on that guy, the Duke that likes me the least. Go scheme there. Make sure he's not doing anything bad. And that's right, so we need to give this guy, my new genius guy, the Earldom of Northumbria, our primary holding when we started the game. So that's gone now, and we'll also go ahead and get you married too, just to make sure you are totally loyal no matter what happens. She has no points in anything. Wow. What a catch. Have fun. Alright, so we've ransomed somebody. We need new ambition. Wow, look at these. This is new. Take the cross. We want to join the crusade. Well, that's a pretty easy trait to take. Ambition, rather. Have 15 children. Wow. Become emperor. What could we possibly do in this lifetime? Being a 45-year-old maimed man. Let's take the cross. We're going to join the crusade in a moment, so we'll do that. And I think... yeah, we're below our domain limit. We still have one too many duchies, but we're going to get rid of it. That's right, I'm in a war. I forgot about that. Raise up all of our men. Let's just go stand there and attack him. We'll very quickly siege through that. There's a marriage in my court. That's fine. Let's see, what else do we need to do? And before we actually do the crusade, now that we're the king, I want to take a look at the new laws. Let's just make sure we've got the right focus for our capital here. This is all level 1 on the cultural side, so let's focus on legalism now. We're all level 1 on the economy. Let's look at this. So 1.16, 1.3, 1.2, 1.11. I'd probably prefer improved keeps over farming because I want to be able to keep upgrading. I've got a lot of income now. And how are we doing on all this? So 1.1, 1.1. Tactics. Focus on tactics for now. Yeah, so let's look at the laws. So we all we all know about crown law, but apparently it's, you know, not as powerful as it affected the Duke. Interesting. It's only 40% for this. When I was a Duke, I could have sworn it was much higher than that. Papal investiture. I don't plan on raising crown law, I think. I'm not too worried about my vassals fighting each other, because the game is still so new, they don't have a lot of intermarriage and claims and things yet. But if we switch to papal investiture, the crown, the Pope would like us a lot more, and it would cost 50% less for excommunications and things, and I'm thinking that I want to do that. We'll leave it for now, but let's take a look at these new laws. So, a tithing is a self-legal system where people are divided in groups of 10, of which all are males and all are at or over the age of 12. Each person within the tithing, name of the group of 10, is responsible for the other member's actions and behavior, and to provide compensation for a member's crimes or torts if need be. We have it currently, it's enacted. A tithing system is currently present in the realm. National revolt risk -5%, lowers the taxes slightly, increases levies slightly, and people don't like it. If it was not enacted, which we would need more stewardship to change, it would increase revolt risk, but everyone would like it. We'd get more money, and it would lower our levy. Yeah, it would actually be a 7.5% swing in taxation, from -2.5 to +5. So we'd lose levy at the cost of revolt risk and gain income. Okay. Land tenancy rights. Land tenancy rights can be divided into 3 main categories in the feudal system: the early villanage method and the latter copyhold method, subdivided into copyhold for lives and copyhold of inheritance. The traditional villanage system, with little to none tenancy security, is present in the realm. As part of the contract with the landlord, the lord of the manor, the tenants are expected to spend some of their time working on the lord's fields. This increases revolt risk, decreases tax modifier, lowers morale, gives us a bunch of levy, on the castles. The feudal vassals like it. The city folk do not. Tenancy by copy hold for lives. In the copy hold for lives, 3 named persons are nominated. The first named is the holder tenant and held for the duration of their life. The other 2 are said to be in reversion and remainder, and effectively form a queue. When the first life dies, the second named inherits the property and nominates a new third life for the end of the new queue. So it's kind of like having like a succession, like a bishopric, sort of. This would lower national revolt risk, increase taxes, lower levy. I mean, it's really interesting, but I don't really know why you'd be like super prompted to change this. And then there's, in the copyhold of inheritance, 1 main tenant landholder is present, a subject who pays rent and undertakes duties to the lord. When the tenant dies, the holding passes to their next heir, who is chosen depending upon the custom of the realm. This gives more morale, larger tax modifier, much reduced castle levy. I don't think I'd like that. I like castle levy. Okay, military tenure. As the main form of military tenure, the castle guard duty is an arrangement by which the duty finding knights to guard royal castles is imposed on certain manors, knights' fees, or baronies. A particular rent could also be allowed to be placed and set to be paid in order to be exempted from castle guard duty obligations. Military tenure by castle guard duty. The castle guard is an arrangement by which the duty of finding knights to guard royal castles is imposed on certain manors. The greater lords provide for the guard of their castles by exacting a similar duty from their sub-enfoft knights, and no rent can be paid to avoid such obligations. This increases both the minimum and maximum levies, increases the size of the castle's levy, but the feudal vassals do not like it. So my dukes will not like it. That's going to be that that modifier we saw in here. It's military tenure by castle guard duty minus 15. The opposite, even if a castle guard duty is still present in the realm, a rent can now be paid to avoid castle guard duty obligations. This reduces national revolt risk, increases the national tax modifier, increases morale, but reduces our castle's levy by 15%. Everyone likes this, essentially. So essentially we're trading off levy for higher taxation, lowered revolt risk, and positive opinion. So I'd like that one. I think I'd take that one. Let's see exactly how significant that modifier is on there. It should be in here. Military tenure by castle guard duty, and it says +0. But I'm thinking it's 15% like it actually said in the law. I don't really know. Maybe it's... I hope it's working, but whatever. And one more to read. We haven't had any more playtime in this, I'm sorry, but we've got so many new laws to look at. We've got the ones from down there before, but... Did that get changed? I thought I moved that up to mixed. I must have inherited the king's laws. That sucks. We're going to have to move that up and do the Merchet duty, and got a lot of laws to change in the future. Last one we have, Frankalmoin privilege. By the Frankalmoin privilege, an ecclesiastical body holds land free of military service, such as a knight service or other secular or religious service, but sometimes in return for the religious service of saying prayers and masses for the soul of the grantor. That made no sense to me whatsoever. It is conceded to the church in this realm. So this, wow, increases national revolt risk, lowers clergy vassal tax by 30%, and we get a lot fewer men from the clergy. We gain piety. It reduces the size of the temple's levies, and our feudal lords don't like it. I don't like this one, but the church likes it. Screw the church. No privilege is conceded to the church in the realm, thus making it abide by the regular feudal land tenure obligations. So this would basically offset it. And to do this, we need at least 500 piety and a learning of 14. We have 0 learning. So I think the chances of us changing that are pretty darn slim. For now, these are crown laws up at the top. You can only change a crown law, if I understand correctly, once in your lifetime. So let's work on these laws down here first. I like doing this one. Everyone likes this. It actually lowers our feudal vassal opinion by 5, but the burghers and the bishops like it. Increases. Actually, this gives us the largest levy. This reduces our levy. I don't remember. Noble vassal tax 15%. Let's do this one. I think we're fine on rebellion. Let's do the Merchet duty. 15% vassal tax sounds good. They're going to have to vote on it, and there's a lot of people that still don't like me right now because I just became their liege. But we have a pretty loyal following from the people that were underneath me before, and the people I just promoted. So I'm going to wrap it up here. In the next one, we will consider joining the Crusade and winning the Crusade because they're currently losing, and getting our ambition satisfied to join the Crusade, getting the Crusader trait, and lots of other cool stuff. So thank you so much for watching. See you again in the next one.